Hi, it's Kim McGrath from Expressions of the Universe with your July highlights, stars, and cards for all zodiac signs. And the month starts out with a full moon, so it's coming in pretty quick. Let's get started. The crystal that I chose, the card that came out is Clarity, and it is clear crystal quartz. Have some of that on hand. Some small pocket pieces. It is about clarity, and I always question when I pull the card because I'm like, really? But it always seems to make sense as the month goes on. So get yourself some clear quartz, any kind of quartz actually. So amethyst, rose quartz, smoky quartz. But I think for the clarity, for the absolute, it has to be clear. Just like ice. So I like that, but I know I didn't have a card for it, but I've been feeling this. And I think I got this as a Christmas present. Not sure. Because it was 6 months ago, right? Fossilized sand dollars. I'm actually gifting these to a couple that I know, but I'm waiting for their birthday, and I know that they don't watch my videos. These are fossilized sand dollars, and you can see the 5-star points. But what sand dollars are an irregular shaped sea urchin. So we're pulling in not only the energy of the fossils, which is ancient and old, we're pulling in sand dollar energy and sea urchin energy. I do have the meaning of both. So like the sea urchin is about being lifted up when you feel beaten down, when you feel like negative or, negativity is coming to you. Sea urchin works on that level. Sand dollar, I have took notes on my phone and it just makes it easier. Sand dollars, they evoke both the land and the water, lost civilizations, mermaids, religious ideals or beliefs, as well as the hope for money and prosperity. And also, sand dollar fossil offers a unique link between earth and water energies, a potent combination which can lead to personal growth on many levels. It invites us to live more magically, to dare the impossible, and to dream big. But it also encourages us to do the work to make our dreams come true. Fortune favors the bold, and the sand dollar teaches us to deserve victory and to feel worthy of receiving great abundance. And I love that line, fortune favors the bold, because it also makes me think of spirit. Now the thought went out of my head. Does that happen to you guys? Spirit helps those who help themselves. So that's kind of like fortune favors the bold. You can't just sit back and expect it's going to happen. I mean, yeah, it can, but you've got to think things into being, act things into being. I thought I had the sea urchin, but oh, I know that I emailed that to myself. Well, anyway, I will post more about this in my companion blog and on Facebook and Instagram in the coming weeks, in addition to the clear crystal quartz. My card for the month, which I found to be interesting because the full thunder or buck moon in Capricorn that's coming in on July 3rd is at 11 degrees. And because of the lighting, I have some pretty, you can see it in my glasses. I have some pretty intense lighting. It's the council from Colette Baron Reed's Shamanic Oracle deck, and it's card 11. And what the council talks about, back to my notes, the invitation for the council is, the council has a message for you. Listen with your inner senses. The handwriting is already on the wall. So look about you and you will discern its meaning. Do not wait for further signs. Embark on the journey to love deeply, forgive sincerely, and dare greatly. Take the leap without requiring life to assure you of success. And you can see that. I will post this with a channeled message as well. And I love that because with the upcoming astrological energies that I was picking up and I wrote about here in my notes, it's about doing a lot of inner work. You know, we are in Cancer season. Cancer is the crab. It likes to be in its home. It's a little introverted. It likes to feel safe and secure and nurtured. And, you know, we'll have Venus going retrograde this month. So we're going to be doing a really deep dive. Well, not just this month. It's a very long retrograde. We're doing a big, deep inward look about love and values. That's really the basis of that whole energy. So, hey, do I have anything else? Before I turn on the slides, one big thing that I want to point out with all the crazy stuff that's been happening in the world lately, you know, and I facilitate or help facilitate a group of master astrologers, and we discuss some pretty big world topics and, you know, people that are high up on the food chain, so to speak, politics, world events. We look at these charts to determine what's happening. And we were looking at the charts for Ocean Gate, you know, that sub that went down to Titanic. First of all, I thought it was a bad sign that they were going to visit a place where more than 1,500 people had died. Tragically, not a good sign, not a good omen, bad juju. But we looked at that chart and we all could see different parts of it. But I saw that south node in Scorpio, right on the cusp of the 4th and 5th house. And I said, oh, they're dead already. This is when they were still searching for them. I'm like, they were dead before they even got into the capsule, which is unfortunate. And then I think it's while we were in the midst of our discussion, it came on as breaking news. But not only that, Pluto moving back into Capricorn, the Neptune aspects, you know, it's foundations collapsing. I talked about my interstate near where I live, I-95, collapsing, but then it got built up pretty quickly. The astrology's been so literal. Now this full moon is in Capricorn. Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn, so we're doing a really big look back at the old traditions, old things that maybe are no longer serving us, and letting a lot of things go, because we let things go during the full moon. So let me pull up my slides and I'll share with you the highlights, the chart, then we'll get into the stars and cards. I don't want this to be all night long. Wait, I'm trying to maneuver my mouse. So I'll put me there. I'm going to share my screen. And hopefully it's not showing double me. I don't know. I've been having some issues with Zoom, trying to figure it out. I did a test for it earlier and I forgot to see if the test worked. Oh my goodness. Anyway, it's our July highlights, stars and cards. And here are the main highlights. Usually my page is jam-packed, right? Not so much this month, but the things that are happening are extremely impactful. So we start the month off with a full super thunder or buck moon in Capricorn at 11 degrees, 18 minutes. There's the Eastern. July 10th, Mars moves into Virgo. July 11th, Mercury moves into Leo. So what's interesting is, you know, I was really concerned about Venus and Mars in Leo with the Leo moon. That's kind of when, you know, that ocean gate exploded, imploded. It was also new moon in Gemini and then the solstice, all within that time frame. And I just felt like there would be some volatility. And then on my last video, I said, oh, I wonder when Mercury's moving into Leo. I thought that Mars would still be there. So in a way, that's really good. Mars is moving into Virgo. So the aggressive energy should be toned down, a little more grounded, a little nitpicky. I will say that it will be turning Virgos on. So there'll be Virgos. I have the stellium in Virgo. So, you know, I sometimes feel like a Virgo out with your, what is that? Magnifying glass, like looking for mistakes, looking for failures. But Mercury moving into Leo says a couple of things to me. It's like, hear the lions roar. People will be speaking up for themselves. People will be arguing. People will be really like in the spotlight, blah, 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 like diarrhea of the mouth in a sense. There's going to be a lot of information coming through because if you look down at the bottom, Mercury moves into Virgo later in the month. So Mercury's moving like so super fast. He has a lot of things to say and he's just blowing through, just like trying to hit all these different spots. And so I just feel like, you know, there's a little bit of a party theme with Mercury and Leo. I don't know. I thought that, I don't know if I wrote it down, but I know that I had some really good thoughts about Mercury and Leo. You know, I will post about that. What else did I think? You know, arguments. Mercury likes to stir the pot. So you want to be careful. There's going to be a lot of information coming out. In Leo, it could be celebrity and politically related. Mercury in Virgo is kind of at home. And so, you know, there'll be an attention to details coming through at the end of the month. So it's like Mercury stirring the pot, blabbing it out, and then now we're going to clean that up. July 17th, new moon in Cancer. July 18th, this is huge. This is really, really huge. North node and south node will be shifting signs for the next year and a half. And with that and the Venus retrograde, I know I keep promising you a video and a blog, and I just I've been too busy, but I do have it penciled into my calendar to try and get these done by next weekend. Both the North Node video and the Venus retrograde. So, and then July 22nd, Sun moves into Leo, and then July 28th, Mercury moves into Virgo. So halfway through the month, before the new moon, I'll come back with cards and stars and a recap for the rest of the month. So here's the full moon chart in Capricorn. I'm not going to spend a ton of time in here. This is for where I'm located in Philadelphia. I also have, if you want to move, that'll move. I also pulled the chart for Los Angeles and London so you could see the differences. So Los Angeles has the moon in the 7th house, and London has it in the 4th house, whereas Philadelphia, it's in the 6th house with the sun in the 12th. So there are subtle differences. Yeah, for the West Coast, Pacific Standard Time, you're moving over one house. For London and Europe, you're moving down 2 houses. Slight shift in energy. But since I'm the astrologer, I'm reading for my area, and so the horoscopes will be based on that. With the sun in Cancer, happy birthday, Cancer, little crabbies. And you see it's at 11 degrees for the moon. That's why I thought that this card, the Council at 11, would be perfect. Well, I mean, I pull it at random after I shuffle and cut. And so when that came out, I was like, oh, that's perfect. When I think of Cancer, you know, like I said, I want safety, I want security. And then Capricorn, it is about foundations. The one side of this energy for this full moon is there's a desire to retreat, regroup, keep your secrets to yourselves, secret affairs and dealings possibly taking place. 12th house is where we go to heal and to like really tap into our higher self and the divine. And also 6th house, that is about healing, but it's the daily routine. It is our overall health. So it makes me wonder, specifically because of the aspects that, oh, never mind. I was just going off on a tangent thinking of a different chart. But the 6th house, it's how we do things on a day-to-day basis. It's our daily routine, the details. It's our small pets. It could be a job, not, you know, career so much, because career is up here in the 10th. It's definitely about your body, nutrition. It's also about our mental health, 6th house. It's how we function. So yeah, those will be the main themes. And what I had written about this, oh, and I forgot to totally mention. So with that ocean gate, stop sharing real quick. With that ocean gate, Sedna, which is an outer planet asteroid, like a Kuiper belt, I think. It's an asteroid, Sedna, S-E-D-N-A, just had moved into Gemini. And Sedna rules the oceans. And I think a couple months ago, I talked about the mythology behind Sedna. I'm pretty sure I wrote a blog about it, where Sedna was this little girl and she goes out on a fishing boat with her father and he throws her overboard. So she grabs onto the edge of the boat and he chops her fingers off, which is pretty gruesome, right? Most fairy tales and mythology are. but she becomes the animals of the sea, the whales and the walruses and the sea lions. And in indigenous, like in Inuit up in the north, like Alaska and Canada, you know, they believe that she's the keeper of the seas. And so I found that it was really interesting that Sedna had also just moved into Gemini, creating a big, huge shift, talking about multiple, you know, like, because Gemini is 2, but it's also multiples. After that, there were so many different boat wrecks that occurred, people dying in the sea, immigrants. I saw at least 4 or 5 different boats that something had happened. I don't really pay attention to the news so much, so I don't know the details, but I just thought it like, wow. And I would think with Sedna being in Gemini, probably for the rest of our lives, I think possibly, at least mine, because it's such a long transiting body, planetary body. We're going to see a lot of things about the ocean. Good things, though, because she's a carer of the ocean. But there's going to be a lot of turbulence and upset as well. Okay, let's get back to, I'm going to share with you again. Go back to my slideshow. Oh, my goodness. And, all right, so Pluto in Capricorn over here, and it's retrograde. Capricorn is a cardinal sign along with Cancer, Aries, and Libra. So there's a lot of things beginning, especially with those nodes moving into Aries and Libra. There's a lot of new beginnings coming. We have Jupiter and Uranus in the North Node that are squaring this new moon and Pluto. It's going to bring a lot of things to light. Capricornian issues like government and politics and religion, old regimes, old things, doing things the old way, bringing those things to light, and why we should be changing and making changes. Now, within your home and your family, it's going to be about bringing up old traditions, you know, like let's revive some old traditions. And these old issues, they are old issues that have occurred over time, but more specifically, a lot of issues in the world that have occurred since January 2020, like right at the time of the pandemic coming out to now. It's about our integrity, our personal integrity. It's about, this full moon is about the choices that we're making. This Saturn retrograde will have us reviewing delusions, illusions, lies, and deceit, along with, you know, Neptune and Pisces, so that we can build something new. It's like shine the light on something that maybe we haven't seen, open our eyes, you know. And I think that's why when I pulled this, I was like, that's perfect. Open our eyes, shine the light. It may be painful to know the truth of something, but it will allow us to move on and create something new. This Capricorn moon will be trining. Capricorn moon? Yes, I'm sorry. I said squaring. It will be trining Jupiter, which is really positive energy. This is a time for reevaluation of everything, especially with Venus going retrograde, really about what is it that we value, what is important to us, who is important to us. Our choices are either empowering or they are disempowering, like playing the victim. So are you going to continue playing victim if that's what you've been doing? Or are you going to empower yourself, cut it off, walk away, and be done? I personally am really over like, it's okay, you know, to complain or feel a certain way, but then like if you just keep regurgitating the same thing over and over again, like I will tire of that and I'll be like, okay, I've had enough of that. Bye. And I won't take any abuse from anybody, verbal, mental, physical, or otherwise. I don't do drama at all. Bring drama to my table. I'm closing the door. Bye. We as a society have become so addicted to suffering, playing that victim role to get attention, or to get the love and nurturing that maybe we're looking for, but being addicted to suffering, and that's even turning the TV on and watching the news all the time and seeing what's going on in the world. That is an addiction to suffering. So those are old behaviors, old behavioral patterns. We have to shift out of that because stuff like that really brings our energy down. Old behavior patterns, the way that we react to our feelings is really going to be bubbling up. And I wanted to bring up about toxic positivity. So there are people that go around saying, oh, you know, only positivity, only positivity. And it's not realistic because we are all human. I think I'm going to talk more about toxic positivity. So there's a difference about being optimistic or trying, you know, trying to heighten your energy by being more positive. And then there's the reality of, well, you know, something horrible happened in your life. And yes, it's fine to be sad about it, but we can't be lingering. But we all have our own timelines. It's just like such a fine line, but toxic positivity is definitely something I think I want to talk about over the course of this month. Let's see. So Uranus up here at 21 is squaring Mars and Venus in Leo. There's a volatility in money and finances because, you know, Taurus, Venus, it's about money. Uranus is something unexpected. Leo, you know, that fire energy. So what I was picking up with that is the volatility in money or finance, unexpected expenses may be cropping up, something costing more than you expected. And this is definitely a very accident prone aspect. So just be careful, all of you, especially, you know, if you are Leos, if, you know, the Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, be on the lookout for that. On a positive note, this will bring this Uranus squaring Venus and Mars. It brings huge beauty and love, something crazy and fated that was totally unexpected could be coming our way. So be on the lookout. You'll have to let me know if anything like really great unexpected happens to you. Could be, you know, in love or something beautiful related. And then, of course, Venus will be going retrograde in Leo. Put all of your time, your focus, and your attention on your own internal state of being, your values, and what or who truly matters and aligns with the self that you are right now in the present. Not who you want to be, not who you were. Who are you right now? Who aligns with you? What aligns with you? What is valuable to you? On it, you know, whether it's material or immaterial. That's what you're going to be focusing on. And just to remind you, we've been in the shadow of this Venus retrograde. I announced it, a month ago. But post shadow doesn't end until October 7th. So we have months of contemplation, months to work on this, which is fantastic for all of us. Again, here are the full moon charts for Los Angeles and London, UK. And now we're going to get into the stars and cards. I know this is your favorite part. I haven't decided what deck I'm going to use. All right. I have a bunch of decks, and I figured it'll hit me. It'll come to me, and it hasn't. Whoa. 2 cards just flew out of the deck. Let's see what those messages are. I'm going to use Black Moon. I think it's Black Moon astrology cards. Can't even be 100% certain. And I think I may also use Wisdom of the Hidden Realms from Colette Baron Reed. I think these are the Hidden Realms. Hidden Realm cards. Wow. We're gonna take a look at this collective message. Cutting these. All right. So, card to fill out is Come Together. It is card number 8. It is talking about connection and manifestation, abundance, eternal life. And, I was watching Fear the Walking Dead, like a recap of the first half of season 8. And they said, oh, connection's so important. And as an introvert, that gets overwhelmed by way too much social stimulation. I'm like, connection is overstated, but this card is, I know it's so essential. And I'm just going to stick with, yes, connection, coming together is important, but it's so important to be finding the right people to be coming together with. And that's, I think, a lot of what this Venus retrograde is, about finding our people, our tribe, our peers. Capricorn I use is the one card that fell out of the deck. These aren't showing up so great on my screen, so hopefully they look better. Capricorn I use. Well, yeah, because if you have to be of value to a Capricorn to make it into their world and realm. And then we have solar eclipse revolution. Interesting. Well, we don't have any eclipses coming until later in the year, starting in October. But solar eclipse revolution, and it is card 44. So this really does talk about finding your place of being, finding your peers, finding your tribe, finding the right people that you want to be with, that you want to spend time with. And the Capricorn I use, interestingly enough, is card number 22. So both of these are master numbers. And, the 22 really talks about, like Capricorn is like thinking logically, whereas the 22 is all about, the heart space and the emotions. So I find that pretty interesting. I'm going to leave these down here. We're going to start with Aries. You want to pay attention to your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign. Any stelliums, little clusters of planets that you may have in your chart. And after the end of this month, I think I'm going to take off the rest of the summer from doing any charts outside of my obligation in Newtown at Solutions. So because I have vacation and stuff coming up lots of stuff coming up, and you know, I want to enjoy the summer. It's so short. Feels like it's almost over already. All right, so Aries, big things are happening for Aries in the coming year and a half, starting middle of July. The North Node will be moving into Aries, and that's huge, huge, huge. You'll have to stay tuned for my blog and video. Aries, though, it is Mercury, the mind, is the card that's coming up for you. And it's about the third house. It is about communication. Really, I think for Aries, you're going to have to really maybe zip the tongue. Be mindful of the tongue, because I feel as though like there's an argument brewing. Mercury, the mind, I'm picking up that there's like overload, mental overload happening there. And you're getting protecting treasure. And this is really what it's saying to me. It's like, act like a Cancer, Aries. It's talking about really taking a good evaluation of the things that you feel are your treasures and making sure that they are safe and sound and secure. Maybe Aries has been running around willy-nilly, not paying attention to how much money they're spending, because, you know, Mars in Leo feels so good, and the bill's coming at the end of the month, and there could be a shock. So this is really saying like, watch your spending, Aries, as well. Yeah, so Taurus, this is really about your goals, your aspirations, your desires. How do you want to be known out in the world? And things are changing. You're getting the Scorpio I Transform card. Things for Taurus, suns, risings, and moons are greatly changing when it comes to how you're seen and known in the outer world. So be prepared for that. And the compass is coming up as your guiding card. So things are changing. I feel like you're not sure exactly what direction you're moving in yet. And so, you know, when the compass comes, it is always about following your true north, following your gut. Even if it maybe isn't logical, follow that gut instinct and it will not lead you astray. But big changes are happening for those Tauruses. And it's okay to not know, to be unsure for right now. Gemini, it is all about your social connections, your friends, people out in the world. It's the side of you that's really connected to peer groups. So I think there could be big changes with that, either incoming, outgoing, huge changes. Jupiter abundance. So this would say tons of new people are coming in for the Geminis. And I don't know if you would really be wanting that, but with this being card number 7, it just kind of says that there's some divinely guided people coming into your life, whether it be groups, social interactions, or some kind of new humanitarian cause or interest will be cropping up for the Geminis very soon. And this confirms it. Movement. Things are going to start to move very quickly for the Geminis, suns, risings, and moons. So if you feel the things have been kind of stagnant and maybe even enjoying that, don't get too comfortable, because seeing this Jupiter abundance and this movement card, it says life is about to get really exciting, Geminis. Okay, Cancer. Happy birthday, Cancers, little crabbies. This is the full moon in Capricorn, which is the opposite of who you are. This is saying like, yeah, you may be having to tend to things that you don't want to. You kind of just want to stick with the family. You might be forced to be looking at things, having to work more than you really thought. But your communication is really on point, really good, because the sun is conjuncting Mercury. Mercury's conjuncting the sun. And so for Cancers, it just feels like very jovial, very summer-like, very, let's have a good time, let's have a party, but I still have to take care of these other things. And it's going to feel kind of annoying that you're being pulled away from the things that you love to take care of, like responsibilities. So the Aquarius I know card is coming up for you. This is talking about some changes in your thinking, changes in your beliefs, seeing things a little bit differently, Cancers, than you've thought before, and setting intentions, card number 22 with that owl on the egg. This is super manifestation time for you between now and leading up to the new moon in Cancer. So don't be so stubborn and think that you know everything, Cancers. Try to wipe the slate clean, be a little more open-minded, and set some new intention and new wishes for what you want to bring into your life. Leos, it's all about me. It's all about you. It's about me. It's about your appearance. I could see Leos changing their appearance, new hairdo, new hair color, outward appearance, maybe going on, a health kick, an exercise regimen, buying some new clothes, like something in your look is changing this month for sure. Don't overspend. I feel like Leos may have been overspending. I know I have a Leo moon. I've been spending way too much money lately. And I'm like, and I knew this. I talked about it over a month ago, and it still happened. We have Venus and Mars in Leo. It's like, oh, look at this pretty thing. Let me get that. Look at that pretty thing. Oh, look at this delicious food. Let me get that. So Leos, a yod, destiny, something faded is coming your way. The sun will move into Leo on July 22nd. And so, I think that that's what that energy is. This video is for the month of July. So little lions, something fabulous is coming your way that you have been destined for. Remember though, destiny is equal to what you've put out into the world is what you'll get back. So this yod will be based on past deeds. Oh, no. I don't even want to show you this card, but it's goblins. And it says that this is just saying that some Leos out there, your past deeds are goblins, or you've been focusing on negative, fearful, lower vibrational things, and then that's what becoming. But if you change things around, 5 is the card of change, then maybe you could change the destiny on this. And also I want to point out with goblins, thoughts become things. Goblins feed off of fear, insecurity, hatred, anger, lower vibrational energy. So if you keep yourself in that energy, then you're attracting the goblins. If you don't, then you're fine. That's a little bit shaky, and I'm going to have to stay mindful because I have the Leo moon. But I don't go to Goblinville. I do stay really positive. I mean, of course, like at least once a day, I have to tell at least like one person F you, whether it's in passing or like, just in my mind, driving, whatever. And then I say peace and blessings. Not that that cancels it out, but we're all human, right? Okay, Virgos, the little virgins. This is about values, money, work, details, health, nutrition. It's really about the things that you value. So Virgos, you're really going to have to like go into this Venus retrograde doing a really deep dive on, you know, like material versus immaterial, what's important to you, redoing your budget, taking a look and see, you know, like what are you spending your money on? So this is a good cue to me because I have the stellium and I've been meaning to like really do a good look at where I've been spending my money, but it's kind of scary to do that, isn't it? But you have sun and spirit. And so the sun is really shining on the Virgos. I love that. This is vital life force. You will have the energy that you need, especially as Mars will be moving into Virgo. So it's going to give you the energy to get these things done. And then Mercury is going to be following behind it at the end of the month. Flying. I love it. So you're going to be so full of energy, Virgos, that you will feel like you are flying. And it will feel like the month of July just flies by. This is also saying that you may not be grounded. You may be a little delusional of something. So make sure that you check in with your emotions and set some boundaries, you know, set some ground rules before going into this month. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with like living in the ethers and being all magical, right? And that's what I feel like this flying card, so cute, is about. Libras. Libra, it's about communications. It's about your neighborhood, travel, technology, learning something new, siblings, cousins, close relatives. Those are going to be your themes. Okay, let's see. 7th house of partners. So I'm wondering, let me pull this other card, Field of Dreams. I'm wondering if the Libras are looking to take a road trip with their significant other. Field of Dreams, you know, like it's summertime vacation I'm picking up, possibly learning something new about a new city, a new place. This is not overseas travel. This is local. You could even be flying, but it's most likely road trip related. Time to upgrade cell phones, laptops, computers, all like technological equipment before the next month when Mercury will be going retrograde. So if you're looking into doing that, the Field of Dreams really talks about the endless possibilities that you have. Like you're sitting on these eggs, some ideas are cracking open, things are emerging. These are things that you're probably going to want to confer with your partner, Libra. This is a really good steamy month for Libra suns, risings, and moons, because Venus, although Venus is going retrograde, I would expect that some Libras could be breaking up, divorcing, splitsville. Okay. Scorpio. Scorpio, everything is about, it's the end of the matter, bringing things home, the nest, the family, the ancestors, having to let something go that's family or home related. Maybe it's a piece of real estate. I feel like there's something leaving for the Scorpios, and it could be actually somebody in the family that is leaving. Mercury retrograde, reinvention. So I love when when that comes up with this being in the fourth house, the end of a matter, saying this chapter's over, Scorpios. It's time to reinvent yourself and reemerge as something new. And the sacred pool is coming up. And the sacred pool, and I'm hoping this is recording better than I'm seeing it on the screen. The sacred pool, which is a beautiful card, it talks about taking a minute, taking some time out and to immerse yourself in water, get to a body of water, especially during this full moon, do some meditation so that you can reinvent yourself, brand new, reemergence. And when you do take that time out near the body of water, look at the magic coming out of that pool. This is about setting those intentions for what it is that you really want. Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, it's fifth house related. From what I'm seeing, it's romance, children, playing, being childlike, new speculative journeys, new adventures coming for you. And I love it. It's the fire element. It is grand trine in fire of desire. It's time, probably not until Leo season, a little bit later in the month of July, it'll be time for you to go after the things that it is that you desire. Good things are coming for the Sagittarians. So I'm thinking third week of July into third week of August. So that's when that will emerge. And the spark card comes up. So this is brand new ideas, brand new adventures, brand new opportunities. And seems to go hand in hand with this grand trine, the fire of desire for you. So good things for the Sag. Capricorn, this is your full moon, Cappies. It's at 11 degrees, 11, make a wish. It's in the sixth house. This is about getting body, mind, and spirit in order and really taking care of yourself, you know, physically, spiritually, emotionally, Capricorns. Interesting. It's the water element, sensing. And that's why I have pulled these sand dollars, because on the opposite end, Sun is in Cancer, the water element, Capricorn is the earth element. And, you know, did I put that back in the deck? You know, the Capricorn card came out at the beginning, but it's like the combination of Sun in Cancer with the moon in Capricorn. Capricorns need to get out of their heads and more into their hearts, into their emotions a little bit more. The Golden Palace. All of your dreams will come true if you can get in touch with your emotions a little bit more, Capricorns. But the Golden Palace sometimes is just like this imaginary place in our mind that, you know, the Shangri-La of our minds, and it really doesn't exist. But I feel that whatever this elusive place of grandeur is, can be manifested for you if you can get in touch with your emotions a little bit deeper. But it is about body, mind, and spirit for the Caps, really getting in alignment with all of that. Aquarius, it's about your relationships, your partnerships, big changes. Part of fortune for this chart is in Aquarius. So cha-ching, Aquarius. New business partners, new business relationships, something big's happening for the Aquarians. But the Libra I balance, sister air card is coming up. It's saying, you know, you could be juggling an awful lot. Aquarians need to balance home, work, life so that you don't get out of balance. It feels as though you're climbing a mountain, that you have obstacles in front of you, And I feel like if something feels out of balance, Aquarius, or you feel like you're climbing a mountain every day, or just, being met with obstacle after obstacle, then that's an indication that you need to make some big life changes. And then Pisces, with Saturn retrograde in your sign and Neptune getting ready to go retrograde at the end of June, I'm recording this in June, it is about revelations of illusion, delusion, lies, and deceptions that maybe you're telling yourself, or maybe that you haven't seen in another. Deep dive in marriage, partnerships, secrets, sexual intimacy, shared finances, taxes, inheritance, other people's money that you owe. So you might have to be really taking a good look at like the money coming in, the money going out. I feel like a lot of Pisces have been living in a world of delusion, and now reality is going to be hitting soon enough. First house, the body. So for the Pisces, this is saying you need to start taking better care of yourself. Also body, mind, and spirit. Are you eating well? Are you drinking enough water? Are you sleeping well? Developing a really good pattern as far as like going to bed at the same time every night, waking up at the same time every morning for that healthy circadian rhythm, getting enough exercise. So Pisces, this is a really good look back for you, especially with the sun being in Cancer, sister water sign. It's time for an overhaul. Unexpected visitors is coming up. Whenever I see this, oh, look, is that a mouse? I think that's a little mouse, or maybe it's a rabbit. Unexpected visitors often talk about ghosts. Unexpected visitors could also be unexpected house guests, little rodent problem. Let's hope not. Some things need to be taken care of in detail. And Pisces, this is about being prepared. I think that's a rabbit. So that is luck. So I'm also thinking some Pisces could be hearing of expecting sometime soon within the next, by the time we have the new moon in Capricorn, which is end of December, beginning of January. So that's all I have for you. I hope you liked your reading. I know it was like a little bit of a mishmash of, everything, but for the full thunder or buck moon, you want to, light some candles, do a bonfire, set your intentions, be able to let go of things. Full moons are about letting go of, new moons are for bringing in. So since my last video, when I talked about the new moon in Gemini and clearing the clutter in order to, bring clarity to the mind, so that theme is still carrying with the clarity, right? I've been on a roll, and it's been great. I've been making such great progress, just like purging crap that, I've had in storage in the garage, whatever. But do you ever notice, I know there are a few of you that are out there kind of doing the same thing as me, because you've messaged me. Do you ever notice that you make more of a mess trying to declutter or clean up the mess? And so like right now, I mean, it's not bad right now because took care of some things, but like yesterday, there was stuff everywhere. And I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to be making more room. And it just was absolute chaos. So I threw everything away because I couldn't look at it for another second. I'm like, I was making piles and I'm like, what am I doing? I just got the trash bags out and started throwing everything in. But yeah, so How many of you, when you're trying to clean out a drawer or closet or whatever, make more of a mess initially and then become so unmotivated to clean that up? It's tough, but it's a process. We're going to have more of that energy and to be able to continue doing that throughout the summer. What else did I have for you? I thought maybe I guess I said everything I wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe the video. I know I haven't said that in so long. I am going to publish this, and within the coming days, before the end of June, I need to write a blog for a publication. So I will be doing a companion blog for the month of July, highlighting everything, and then I'll link them up and republish this. Be sure to look out for channel messages of the cards and the crystals that I posted. And happy full moon, happy July. And I'll be back in 2 weeks with some more of my weekly wisdom and my stars and cards and mid-July highlights as well. I still can't turn this off. The button.